When you think about India and power and majesty, what animal comes to mind? For thousands of years, it's been the elephant. And their story? Well, it didn't just run parallel to human history, it actually helped shape it. So let's get into this incredible, epic partnership. I mean, just think about it. You've got these incredible animals in royal parades, you have them hauling enormous logs out of forests, and then, get this, they're basically living, breathing tanks on ancient battlefields. This relationship truly changed everything in South Asia. And it's easy to just lump them in and say, oh yeah, they were domesticated. But what if that one simple word domesticated is, well, wrong? What if it's hiding the real story? That's the big question we're going to dig into. And trust me, the answer tells us something amazing about history, biology, and just sheer human ingenuity. All right, so to really get a grip on this powerful partnership, we've got to start at the very beginning, with the environment itself. See, this wasn't a story of humans stumbling upon some new exotic creature. Nope, this was about two species, already living side by side, figuring out how to deal with each other. And that right there is the key. Elephants were just there, a massive, powerful, and let's be honest, sometimes dangerous part of the landscape. So people in ancient India didn't have to discover them. They had to figure out how to live with them. And then, eventually, how to actually work with them.
Okay, and this brings us right to the core of it. To really understand this whole relationship, the words we use, they matter a lot. So check this out, because the distinction is huge. On one hand, you have domestication. Think cows, horses, sheep. That's a biological game changer. We're talking about humans taking control of breeding over generations, literally changing the genetics of the whole species to get traits we want. But then you have what happened with elephants, taming and management. That's a totally different ballgame. It's about taking one single, wild individual and using incredible skill to train it, while the rest of the elephants out in the forest, they stay completely wild.
So you're probably thinking, okay, but why? If people could domesticate cows and sheep, why not elephants? And the answer is, well, there were some really, really big hurdles. First off, trying to breed elephants in captivity is just incredibly hard, especially back then. I mean, they take forever to grow up, their pregnancies last almost 2 years, and raising a baby elephant takes a mind-boggling amount of resources. So for basically all of history, it was just way, way easier to go out and capture a new elephant from the wild and train it. So just how old is this tradition? Well, the clues we have take us way, way back. I'm talking thousands of years. Get this, the very first hints we see pop up around 5,000 years ago with the Indus Valley civilization. We find these amazing carved seals with elephants on them. Fast forward a bit, and by the 4th century BCE, you've got actual written manuals, like the Arthashastra, that are basically instruction books on how to catch, care for, and use elephants in war. I mean, talk about a tradition that lasts. But here's something really important. Pay attention to how historians talk about this. They never say evidence of domestication. They use these super careful phrases, like this one. Why? Because a picture on a seal, well, it tells you elephants were important, but it doesn't spell out the exact nature of the relationship. And that kind of precision, that's what makes for good history. And this whole thing was so much more than just wrangling a big animal. It was a complete, sophisticated system, one built on incredible knowledge and a really special bond between person and animal. And right at the heart of that system is the mahout. Now, a mahout isn't just an elephant rider. No way. This is a person who often forms a lifelong bond with one specific elephant. They know its personality, its moods, everything. And it's that deep trust that lets a person guide this massive, powerful creature through really complex jobs. Experts have a name for this whole process, the wild to domesticated transfer. And it's basically a cycle that just kept repeating for thousands of years. Step 1. Capture, using these really specialized techniques. Step 2, taming, which took incredible patience. Step 3, training for specific jobs. And finally, step 4, bringing that elephant into human society. And then they do it all over again. So, why go to all this trouble? What was the payoff? Well, the trained elephant became absolutely essential in 3 key areas. First, labor. I mean, for pure muscle power, nothing could beat an elephant for things like logging. Then,
There was ceremony. When a king showed up on an elephant, he wasn't just commuting. He was making a statement, a huge one, about power, wealth, and his command over the natural world. And then, of course, there was war. The war elephant was one of the most terrifying, awe-inspiring weapons of the ancient world, period. Okay, so we've looked at the history, the how, and the why. Let's bring it all back home to that first big question. Why should we even care about the difference between taming and domestication? Because getting the words right changes everything. It changes the entire story. It stops us from talking about a biological change that simply never happened. And instead, it makes us focus on the incredible human achievement that did. And that's really the heart of it. The story of the elephant in India isn't one of humans reshaping a species. It's an incredible 5,000-year story of human knowledge, courage, and tradition, passed down through generations to learn how to partner with one of the most powerful animals on Earth. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If getting one little word right can completely reframe a 5,000-year-old story, what other parts of history might we be misunderstanding, all because we're using the wrong words?